We're going to talk about prepositions here. Prepositions are very easy, right? You should all be very familiar with prepositions. Words like in, on, to, for, by, from. So what are they? They are words that show relationship between two things. So when you're in grade school, you learn the definition that these are words that show relationship. Okay, so relationship between what? Two things. Could be two words, phrases, or clauses, whatever it is. These are connecting words. So what they tell you is they tell you time. They can tell you places where something is happening, or it could be just introducing some other object. Let's look at the prepositions of time, like on, at, in, and in. If you're a native English speaker, you would choose the correct preposition depending on the situation. Just naturally, instinctively, you would know how to say it correctly. If you're learning English as a second language, it could be kind of tricky. Here are some general rules. You use on for days of the week and a particular day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll always be on Friday or on Monday. So if it's a day, it's on. Christmas Day or on the 15th, when you're talking about that particular day, that's also on. How about at? At is used for times of the day, like at noon, at night, at midnight, but those particular words only, okay? Because we use in for mornings, afternoons, and evening. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. These are also different times of the day, but they're different quality of words, I suppose. And so at with those words, noon, night, and midnight, but in for morning, afternoon, and evening. Also in for months, years, and seasons, right? So in July, in 1992, in the summer, in the winter, and so on. Prepositions of place are, this is probably the most common definition you learn when you're in grade school. Your teacher tells you, think of a mouse and a desk. You probably heard that. Imagine where a mouse can be in relation to that desk. The mouse can be on the desk, it could be around the desk, or it could be under the desk. It could go around, it could go above, it could go below, it can come from the desk to the desk, so on. All of those words are prepositional words. It shows the relationship between the mouse and the desk. And the other category is just simply introducing of objects, showing a relationship from one thing to another, such as gift for his mother. So here's the word gift. How's it related to the mother? It's a gift for the mother. And so we'll say that shows that relationship. So the preposition is here, for. We would put parentheses around it like so to show that it's a prepositional phrase. Roof of the house also. There's your prepositional phrase. We're showing a relationship between the roof and the house, right? Some are multiple words, and that means prepositions. Some prepositions are not just single words, but they can be multiple words like according to, because of, except for. There are several more of these multiple word prepositions, and if you would like to know what they are, you can go ahead and look them up. Whenever you see them, you can just recognize them as prepositions and treat it as if you're looking at one word preposition. You just deal with it the same way. Introducing objects. What is a prepositional phrase? This is a term you have to become familiar with. Prepositional phrases happen in just about every sentence. Okay, it's there all the time, especially in test questions because you're encountering long sentences. Long sentences become long because they include a lot of prepositional phrases or clauses and so on. So you will see prepositional phrases all the time. Now, in test questions, what you should realize is that prepositional phrases often don't add too much meaning, but they're in there just to confuse you. So you need to identify them and you need to eliminate them from your sentence so that you can see the subject and verb and the pronouns, these important things, so you can see them more clearly. So what is a prepositional phrase? The definition is that it begins with the preposition, like of, for, in, and ends with the object of the preposition. All right, so it's a word where we put parentheses, like for you and dad. We put parentheses around it like that. The first word has to be the preposition. The last word would be the object of that preposition. That's what we would call it. So let's consider this sentence. I made a card for you and dad. So that's your prepositional phrase. For you, for dad. I've told you before in previous videos that if you have multiple persons there connected with an and, you should eliminate one and test the other to see if you have the correct pronoun there. In this case, you doesn't matter either way, and dad is not a pronoun, so there are no problems here. But what if we change the dad to a he, like in the next sentence, I made the card for you and he. So in this case, you would do the same thing. You would put parentheses there, identify it as a prepositional phrase, and you would say, I made the card for you. All right, that sounds good. I made the card for he. Okay, we wouldn't say that, right? We would not say for he because we need to write him. And why do we need to write him? It's because we are dealing with the object of the preposition. That means that word he or him in that position is an object, just like the object of a sentence. An object pronoun requires an objective case of the pronoun. What do I mean by the objective case? Objective case is the case, the form of the pronoun that appears here, the form of the pronoun that you use when you're using it as an object in a sentence. That means not only the direct object, but also the object of the preposition requires the objective case. How about the next sentence? She made the car for you and I. This is a similar issue, right? So there's your prepositional phrase. For you, for I. No, we would not say for I. And I is not the objective case, it's the subject case. So we would replace that with for you and me, right? We should have no secrets between you and I. That sounds very natural because this is how most people are saying it these days. And people are saying it wrong. That's not the right way to say it because the word between is a preposition just like the other ones, like the for and to and whatever. And when you have a preposition, the words that follow are the objects of the preposition, and you need to have the object case of the pronoun. And so it's got to be you in the object case and also me here, okay, between you and me. If it was not you, maybe it was a he or a she, it would have to be between him, not he, but between him and me, or between her and them. Okay, you got to make sure you use the objective case of the pronoun because you have a preposition and you're using the object of the preposition.